Kaieteur Radio.
Hello, thank you for tuning into Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith and welcome to your news at noon. These are the top stories we are tracking. ExxonMobil head says local content drive makes good business sense, but details on spending still shrouded in secrecy. Regional bodies to accelerate Caribbean's renewable energy transition, and Ram says Guyana risks losing oil revenues in New York bank account without legislation in place. Money laundering and cybercrime acts among laws to be amended according to the AG, and suspected bandits abort plan after seeing Sensei's martial arts uniform, and a man who did not return from Lime with friends found murdered. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Hey, you! Going out? Want all your favorite radio stations on the go? Listen up and let's go. Anytime and anywhere. All your favorite radio stations are in one place. Listen wherever you go, anywhere, anytime. You can even listen without Wi-Fi with Go Loud on a Digicel Prime bundle. Talk, music, news, whatever you want. On the go, Go Loud. Go Loud gives you all your local radio in the palm of your hand. Go out in style. On the go, Go Loud. Download today.
And now for the news in detail. Even as it continues to hide from public scrutiny evidence of the billions of dollars it claims to have expended in the last 5 years on Guyanese hires and support services, the president of ExxonMobil Guyana, Alistair Routledge, continues to sell the message that the American oil giant and its prime contractors have been making significant efforts to bolster local content. In fact, Routledge said these efforts at local content occur since it just makes good business sense to do so. He further noted that all of the major international companies contracted by ExxonMobil Guyana have a presence in country and have been steadily moving activities from Trinidad and Tobago and other locations around the globe to Guyana. It is crucial to note, however, that for almost 6 years, ExxonMobil has ignored calls to provide a disaggregation of the money it claims was spent on an annual basis for trading Guyanese, procuring goods and services here, and ensuring technology transfer occurs. In other news, some 31 months after the passage of Guyana's Natural Resources Fund Act and its subsequent assent by then-President David Granger in January of 2019, the only thing active about the fund, commonly referred to as the Sovereign Wealth Fund, is that it continues to generate controversy. At least this is according to eminent chartered accountant and attorney-at-law Christopher Ram, who contends the Natural Resource Fund Act is not in operation. Qualifying his arguments, Ram noted that more than a year after the PPPC regained power on August 2nd of 2020, and more than 2 years after its assent by then-President Granger, the Natural Resource Fund is not in operation since no commencement has been issued to bring it into force. To this end, Ram contends there is therefore no effective or legal requirement for the oil money or any part of it should go into the account being held in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. In other news, as CARICOM member states race towards their respective renewable energy targets, 2 organizations in the region have forged a partnership to help advance and accelerate the Caribbean's sustainable energy transition. According to reports, the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, a specialized energy agency of CARICOM, and the Caribbean Climate Smart Accelerator, a non-governmental organization, have teamed up, signing a cooperation agreement to accelerate regional and national mandates for the adoption of renewable energy and energy-efficient technologies. In a public missive announcing the partnership, it was noted that the alliance was formed amid continued fuel price volatility and during the unpredictable hurricane season, coupled with an unprecedented global pandemic. And moving on, the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Financing and Terrorism Act and the Cybercrime Act are among the set of laws that are to be reviewed and amended. This is according to Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal. The AG stated that he believes that some of the Guyana's laws have to be reviewed because he thinks that they are repulsive. Moreover, the AG pointed out that while there are aspects of the Cybercrime Act that must be amended, he noted that the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Financing Terrorism Act has a lot of immoderation clauses that need to be amended. One such part, he noted, is the clause where the authorities can go into someone's bank account. And moving on, a man who had failed to return after leaving his home on Tuesday to go on an afternoon lime with his friends was found dead the following morning with chop wounds to his body. The dead man has been identified as 33-year-old Pradesh Ramgobin, also known as Avinash, of Hope Estate, East Coast Amarara. The suspect have since been arrested, and he was the one reportedly notified Ramgobin's worried mother that her son was killed. According to police, Ramgobin would normally go out with his friends to consume alcohol, and on Tuesday around 17 hours, he left to do so. His relatives waited for him, but he never showed up that evening. And interesting news, 2 suspected motorbike bandits on Wednesday aborted their plans to rob a sensei, 71-year-old Frank Wunatai, after they reportedly saw his karate uniform. Master Wunatai said that he had just stepped out of his residence and was waiting on a taxi to take him to his dojo. He recalled that the men pulled up on him around 17 hours while he was taking shade behind a tree from the afternoon sun. The pillion rider reportedly came off the bike and began walking towards Wunatai. But when he saw the karate expert suited up in his uniform, he settled for a hi uncle and turned back. Wunatai related that the suspected bandit rejoined the motorcycle and sped off with his accomplice. The sensei believes that the men wanted to rob him of his laptop. In other news, Marcus Bisram appeals against a decision by the Court of Appeal for him to be committed to stand trial for the October 16 murder of Berbice carpenter Fayaz Narindat has been fixed before the Caribbean Court of Justice for November 11, 2021. The hearing of oral arguments in the matter is set to commence at 10 hours via video conferencing. Back in June, the CCJ had moved to suspend the judgment by the appeal court in the matter, where the Guyanese-American businessman and philanthropist was ordered to face fresh proceedings for the murder of the Berbice carpenter. The CCJ made the order after a preliminary hearing of an appeal filed by Bisram and his legal team. And now let's tell you that yesterday the Ministry of Health announced that 4 more persons who tested positive for COVID-19 have died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 744. The ministry reported that the latest fatalities are that of 2 unvaccinated persons, a fully vaccinated person, and a partially vaccinated person. Meanwhile, 258 new infections have brought the total number of confirmed cases to 30,444. Presently, there are 37 patients in the COVID-19 ICU, 171 persons in institutional isolation, 3,644 in home isolation, and 4 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 25,848 persons who tested positive for the virus have recovered. And it is time we now move on to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News. Exxon is putting more and more in Guyana's rich oil basket. It is moving supplies from Trinidad and Tobago to Guyana to advance its exploration. Guyanese, meanwhile, have basket cases for leaders in the recent coalition and this current PPPC government. The mentality of corrupt or compromised Guyanese leaders is, come here and be sure to flourish, we guarantee it. They give profitable guarantees to Exxon and the rest, but tell Guyanese citizens, don't expect much anytime soon. Who are these uncaring leaders? Guyanese, how can these leaders be tolerated? They are selling out the patrimony of this nation. It would seem that they can't bow low enough to show Exxon how happy they are to hand over our wealth while leaving Guyana in billions of American dollars in debt. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
I am Glenn Lal, and I have some beautiful things to share with you guys. Citizens of Guyana, brothers and sisters, ExxonMobil putting a padlock on Guyana's gate. Listen how Exxon put a padlock on